guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G from Happiness and Crafting. So Lost Mojo makes today. I'm going to be making some scrappy pockets with paper, the scrap paper and my scrap fabric. Now I did start because I turned my camera on and next door decided to do their garden, so it was really noisy. So I made this little one, just a little scrappy bits and to make a little pocket. So I thought it'd be a really nice sort of like Lost Mojo one, just a nice simple easy little project that we can do and using up your scrappy bits. Now this is my journal that I've started making, another sort of like no rules journal. Lovely little one, which is lovely. I wanted to do a bit more of this yesterday, but yesterday was just a day that I didn't get round to doing a video, so I thought we would sort of incorporate it into our Lost Mojo makes today and make some little pockets, little randomy pockets. Now I have been sewing a little bit and I did this little bit here, just a little bit of random adding little bits to each other on this one. And I've got this little sort of like corner pocket. We don't need that paper clip on there now. So I sewed this little bit up and I thought I would attach it to this bit and then we'll stick along the bottom and stick it to there, so it makes a bigger sort of pocket. And I just think that would be really pretty in there. But I'm not going to stick these in yet. I'm just going to sort of like make some lovely little pocket bits and pieces like that. But on this one I've just stuck 2 pieces of paper. I did sew. This is my attempt to making those little what they call French knots, I think they are, but I think that looks really quite pretty. I think that looks really quite pretty, and I think it would just sort of like sit on there quite nicely as a little pocket. Now I want this one not to be too fat. Famous last words, I always seem to say that and it ends up being a real sort of like big fat one. Journal I'm talking about. So we shall see. Now I've stuck this one together, so this is all we're going to be doing today. It's just sticking little bits together. Oh, I tell you what, I went out this morning, I did do a reel on this. I had one of those rugs, you know those rugs which you've got lots of bits of fabric in and they're all sort of like weaved together. Well, I bought one of those this morning and it was only €4.50 in my supermarket. It's in the supermarket. I haven't seen one before in there, but I took some out. I took it apart. I will see if I can link the reel down there actually. And these, look at these beautiful colours. This is only half of it, if half of it. But these are the colours I pulled out and I have washed them. I've washed them all. I put them in a little net bag in my washing machine and just put it on a really sort of like quick wash. And they smell so much better. They've been out in the garden, all fresh, and look at the colours. They are just perfect colours for what I will be using. Now I did love this blue. This blue was wrapped up in there and I just think this is just beautiful, especially, I don't know, it's just like that nice fresh colour. So I've just sort of like tied it up together so I don't lose them. But if you find those little rugs, I don't know whether you've done it where you've taken one apart before. Some of them come with lots of sort of like sari silks and stuff in them, but that one was more sort of like cottony bits, which is just beautiful. So I was really happy with that. So today, let's just do this. Yesterday was just a day where, you know, when you want to sort of like do lots of things, and I really didn't get around to doing a huge amount. I wanted to get some more of this journal done, but that didn't happen. Right, I'm taking my scrap papers and I'm just going to stick some together like that. Really quite simple. Just stick them together like that. And then we've got a pocket. And then I can just cut them to the right size. Really nice, simple one today. And it's nice to come into your craft room, isn't it, and just have a little play. I know lots of us have lots of scrap paper and things lying around, and it's a good one if you're not quite sure what you're doing. coming into here, coming into your craft room, and just let's just stick some paper together. That's the fun thing, and actually come, you know, turn out with something really pretty. And we all like pockets. We all need a few pockets in our journals. And we're just going to stick that on there. So how simple is that? And then I'm going to just snip this across like that. Oops, that wasn't quite level, was it? I'm going to throw this bit away. Don't need any more. So then we've got this one, whether that's going to go this way down the side, whether it'll go this way. I can cut a little bit off if it's too long. But at the moment, I'm just going to stick some papers together. Now the other thing is, okay, let's use this one. I'm going to do them this way. Now, when you're gluing it together, if you're making a pocket and you're gluing them together like that, have a bottom one and then the next one glue behind it. Don't glue it on top, because when you've got a pocket and you want to put something in it, if this bit isn't glued down properly, when you start pushing something in, it gets stuck. And that's a really frustrating thing when you're trying to pop something into a pocket. So put it behind, so there's like a little ledge. It, you know, can't get caught because it's going down that way. So if that makes sense to you. So let's just stick a little bit of glue on here like this, so we can have lots of little scrappy pockets. And because we've got a nice little eclectic-y sort of journal to put them in, you know, it's perfect, isn't it, to add these little bits together. So little sort of almost like patchworky pockets. And then I can add a little bit of fabric and stuff to them as well. You can have, I don't think I need to make them too wide. I think the last one I made was a little bit too long, unless it will go sort of on this back page. Just needs a little bit snipped off, I think, but I think that will be pretty good. Can go on this one. Oh no, that's not too bad. That could go on there. So I don't need them any sort of like longer than that. But this is quite a nice little one. Let me just chop that off. So we'll have that one. If we make a few of these, and then we can just embellish them. I do love this spotty. I love this spotty. Shall we just, so we could probably go, it's going to be too wide. Where's my ruler gone? Oops, it's up here. Let's just tear that little bit down. I've got that at the top. We could probably turn it over so it's a little bit stripy there. And then maybe I'll glue that. This one doesn't really need a lot. I quite like that scruffy bottom on there. Or, well, I tell you what we could do. That could be the top. And we could attach something to here, couldn't we? What's that? Would that fit? And then we could have like a double pocket. And then we'd have another little pocket. Oh, that would be quite nice, wouldn't it? We could have a little pocket at the front as well. So if we glue, should I glue it all on? Or should we have a little tuck in there as well? All decisions. I think I'm going to have another little tiddly tuck. Little tiny tuck. Let's put a little bit of glue. I think it's sort of there. Do you think that will work? Pop that in. Stick that on. Like that. And then we should have just a little bit here. Just if you've got something that you want to sort of tuck in there. It's quite nice. I'll probably forget that's a little pocket, but there we go. That's nice, isn't it? And we'll just sort of glue the sides down like that. So guys, how's your week going? We are right in the middle of our week. Is it good? Are we having a good week? I've had a busy week. I haven't even thought about the Friday freebie yet. Can you believe it? It's Wednesday, so tomorrow is going to be a Friday freebie day where I really need to sort of make something. I'm sure we will think of something. There we go. Lovely little pocket. Oopsie daisy. And then we can add a little bit. So I've got 4 little pockets, but I do like that one. Let's pop those over there. Let's make one more. I've got lots of little pieces. Let's make another one. Let's see what we've got in here. Let's take these out. Little rosy bit. That's a little bit. That's quite nice. And have those two look really nice, don't they? Let's put those in. I do love this little pot that I've put my scrap paper in. It's so good. It's really, really handy. I might have a little bit of a spotty again. And having it all good sizes as well, it means that I'm going in here and I'm actually using it, because it's sat on my desk. Oops, if I can put them in. There's another rosy bit there. I like that rosy bit. Because it's sort of like sat here, it means that I can just go in and pick things out, which I am loving. I've used it a lot more than I have when it was in the drawer. Right, let's make something here. We've got this other little bit. I'm going to tear that piece off. Let's have this. Does it go around this way? Let's tear. Pop that back in there. We have this little rosy bit. I'm liking this scruffy top. So what we'll do is stick that again. We'll stick that behind so it doesn't get caught. So let's pop a little bit of glue along here. No, I've done that wrong. No, I haven't. That's right, isn't it? Yes. Pop that on there. Like that. Chop that down. There we go. Might even just sort of like stick that on there. Just have a little randomy bits, I think. Then I don't have to put this back into my scrap paper box. You can just use it up. A little bit on there. And we'll use this. Actually, I quite like the stripy blue. It's quite nice, isn't it? So let's glue this side down. There we go. If I hadn't finished putting the pages in that journal, I think I would probably have used my new papers. I just love them. I can't wait to use them. I wanted to have a go with them yesterday, but I just didn't have time. I don't know where they are now. I think they're just here, I think this is some of them. I don't know whether you saw them. These are the antique and orchard papers. Look, we've got so many of them. It's a real sort of bumper pack, and they're in 2 sizes. So I've got portrait. I've done them in portrait, which I don't normally do, and I've also done the portraits 2 to a page. So they are like journal pages then, which I'm loving. So I can't wait to use those. I think if I hadn't finished my journal, I would have put some in there, because I do like that. Right, that's a nice little collagey one, isn't it? Let's just add a little bit of paper, a little bit of ink to this. Okay, let's put these back in there. So these are nice little scrappy pockets. Should we start with this one? Now we've got a little bit. I've taken some pieces out, so I'm not rummaging through that. But look at that, that's lovely, isn't it? Don't need the rose on the rose, so we won't use that bit. I just want some little pretty bits. little pretty bits on here. Maybe just like a little bit of lace. That's nice, isn't it? If I wrinkle it up a little bit, I can use all of that. What should we use? Glue gun. Just pop a little bit of glue gun. Oops. Along there. Pop that down. Like that. Oh, I didn't say, look, my glue gun just dries so quickly. I need to do little bits at a time. I'm too slow. Just too slow with it. Can you hear those dogs outside? We've got another cat that comes into the garden. We have George, and he's got his little friends, Big George outside, and Earl. Earl is grey, so we call him Earl, like Earl Grey tea. But he's quite a big, bolshy cat. And I have this chair out in the garden, which I have a blanket on, so that they can sleep on it. Because our garden, I think they find it quite calming, our garden. They all sort of like come into our garden for some reason. And they're all nice and happy. They sleep amongst the flowers as well, so I don't really want to shoo them off. They are sort of like stray cats. We feed them now and again, but George doesn't like them. We had another cat in the garden that's come from somewhere. Oh my gosh, all three of them, poor cat. They weren't very happy with him. I think he was really hungry, but they shooed him off. But I don't really want them around because the cats in the garden, George and that, they've been neutered and stuff, so it means that you know, they're not weeing up everything, you know what I mean, because cats tend to sort of mark their territory, don't they? And that cat was sort of like peeing up everything, and I don't want that in the garden. Am I allowed to say that on video? I hope so. Look at that, it's like a little curtain. So yes, and they were fighting, so they were squealing. Well, not squealing, but they were pretty noisy. I do like my rose ribbons, rose trim, I mean. Let's put that down. A little bit on here. So again, things like this, anything goes, just add little bits here and there. Like that. So that's a really nice little pocket to go in there. Not sure whether we want something on this little bit. Let's like a little bit of ribbon, a little bit of lace. Another little bit of lace on there. Not really. That looks a bit messy, but I think we should be okay. Right, that's 2. Let's do another one. Shall we put a little notch in here, or should we put something across? Do like this blue. It's very pretty, isn't it? Actually, that would go really well, because look, we've got a pansy on there, and we've got the pansy on there and the blue. So I think I'm going to do another one like that. That looks really nice, and I'm going to use my 3-in-1 instead of the glue gun, because that's just drying so quickly. Pop that on there. So yes, I haven't done anything too exciting. We've just been very busy with bits, things, you know what I mean? Everyday things. Like that. Oh, we need to find a new accountant, and they're not easy to find here in Portugal. Not a good one anyway. So that's been a bit of a task. Okay, I'm just going to melt that little end bit because this velvet ribbon tends to unravel, so that's why I'm going to do that. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Let's have a little see what we can put on this. We don't want rose, do we? I'm trying to use these bits up and not the vintage lace that I've got. Because I don't want to use it all the time. I could quite easily use it all the time, but I've got all of these lovely little scrappy bits that I've got. I'm going to just bend that backwards, that little knitting piece, and stick that on. I'm going to try and make a little thing of flowers here where that little pansy is. Do you know what I mean? I'll pop some other ones on there. Oh, look, I've got glue stuck everywhere. What have we got in here? Anything exciting? No, I don't want to go rummaging through there because that will take me forever. What's this blue piece? You could sort of... Should we make that into a little rose? There we go. Let's just twist that round and make a little rose on there. Just twist that. Stick that on. Twist that round. I do like doing the Lost Mojos because that means that I can just come in here and just make and not really sort of think about what I'm making. Just having a little sort of play, which is lovely, isn't it, to do that. Stick that around. Look, that's a little pretty little rose. Let's pop that on there. Pop that round and stick that on. Okay, so we've got a little rose to go in there. And you know what, I'm going to get a little bit of tulle on this one. Surprise, surprise. Let's just snip a little piece off there. Stretch it out. Gather it up. And then just stick that on in there. I'm going to use a glue gun on this bit. Just grab it and stick it on. And there we go. A little bit more to put our little rose on. Don't want to cover up that little pansy there. There we go. I do like that. You know what I've got? I think I'm going to round the corners, or I might even shape them a little bit, just to be different. I do like that little punch. There we go. Gosh, that was a noisy motorbike. When the wind is in the right direction, the traffic, you can hear the traffic, and the road is quite far away. Okay, I kind of like that. We can always add a little bit more to that, can't we, when it goes into the journal. I do like the blue and the purple. It looks really lovely, doesn't it? Okay, let's have this one. Oh, this was our little... Well, look, we can have like a triple pocket, can't we? Make sure that's not stuck down. No, we can still fit something in there. Oh, I made this as well. I did some little bit of those little thingamajiggies. I've forgotten what they're called now. And I just thought this would be quite nice down the side of the page. Like that. I quite like. I'm not a real big fan of orange. But I had some of this. I found some little embroidery thread that I had, and I quite like that. I just sort of like sewed it on there, and I think it looks really pretty. I'm going to tonight, I think I'm going to sit down after dinner and do a little bit of sewing bits, I think. Just little, like I did, like I've done before. Just thought that's quite nice, but then we're going to cover that up, but that's okay. That's okay. This is just the end of a piece of fabric by the look of it, which I think I'm going to just stick onto there. Because we can. Let's use this. So we'll go down here. That one. That on there. Do you think there's going to be enough room to stick something in there? I think so. If not, it doesn't matter, does it? Let's just chop that off. Let's get a smaller piece. Or you can still stick something in there. Put that on, and then we want, oh, I've got this little bit. I like that. That could go on that one, couldn't it? We need something to go along with this bit. Oh, this is this little bit of ribbon, little bit of lace on there. There we go. We shall pop that over the top. Just along here. Pop that in. You can't go wrong with sort of working with your little scrappy bits, can you? Just adding them on so they all look really pretty. Make sure we're not gluing the pocket together like that little bit. We can leave that little bit hanging off the edge like that. Little pocket, make sure I haven't glued my pocket down. Like that colour underneath. Bit of glue. Okay, I think I might just leave that as it is, because when we put it on a page we can add a little bit more. Say if it goes onto this page, that's really nice, isn't it? If it goes right on the end, we can actually, there we go. That's got a pocket that side. You can sort of like attach something to here. I like that. I like that little pocket. That's a lovely pocket. And then there's that pocket. I think this one would go on this side of a page, I think, because then that's more on the outside. Do you know what I mean? That go on there. Not quite, will it? But I do like that. I just love all the eclecticness of it. Eclecticness, is that a word? Is that a word? Right, those are done. Quite simple. Like that. I might just make that just a little bit darker. I might as well just sew along. So we've got like a little stitch mark along there. Unless I do it by hand. What do you think? Do you think we could do it by hand? I need to be able to... I have threaded up some cotton, but I need to... Let me just get my little bit of foam. Pop this in here. So we would need a little on there. I'm not worried if they're going to be odd. Know what I mean? Let's just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, there we go. That's quite nice, isn't it? Look, I've popped this in there. It's got a notch in the end. Don't think so. Let's pop a little knot in there, and we can just go through. A little bit of sewing. That's quite nice, isn't it? I don't normally sew on paper, but I think that looks really nice. Like that. And I expect I could probably go back through there. Oops. And then down through there, so we've got it all the way along each one. Like that. Quite nice to have a little bit more sort of stitch stuff in this little journal, wouldn't it? Little handmade little bits and pieces in there. Look at that. Doesn't that look nice? Just a little bit of sewing on there. And then I'll just go pop a little knot in there. Stick that in there for a sec. Chop that off. There we go. Lovely. Oopsie daisy. Ooh. Pop that in my box. I like that. I do like that. And then we can still pop that in there. Could sort of hang something from these as well. I do like that one. That's lovely. Little extra on there. Let's take this off. Leave that there just in case we need it again. Now, shall I leave this one this long and pop it in the back? That's what I was going to do, wasn't it? Because that can actually go on this page. Like so. And then that's our front one. She can go over there. So we've got 2 to do. Like this. On the side. Don't really want to cover this little rose up. Anyway, let's just ink a little bit. Let's just get my ink out of there. And a bit on there. Yeah, I fancy sitting and doing a little bit of stitching, and if not, I'd take little scrappy bits and just sort of like sew them together, if you know what I mean. What should we have? We could do with something over the top, actually. Should I just, how easy is this going to, to be to tear? Oh, and goes my scissors on the floor. There we go. Shall we just runkle that up? Let's just runkle it. Let's have a little runkle all the way along. Like that. Let's start this end. Stick this down. Just runkle that up. Am I going to use all of it? Not quite. There we go. Oh, I didn't get my scissors. Gosh, there we go. I like that because that's got the rose on it as well. Let's take these little threads off, we don't need that. Then we can just sort of, I'm going to cut this. I'm going to cut that in half. Pop that on there. Use a little bit of glue gun for this bit. Stick that down. And this bit can go this side. There we are. Gosh, now can you hear all the seagulls out there? I don't know whether you can hear that. I know sometimes you guys can hear the sea when it's the wind is really in the right direction, because it's not far from the sea and it can get really quite loud. But it's beautiful when you're sitting in the garden and you can hear the sea. It's so lovely. Not sure whether I quite actually like that. Let's stick these bits down. Or I might pop a little bit of this in there. Just cut that little end off. I'm going to just pop that underneath if I can. So go this way. Just scrunch that up. Perfect. Where was the other little bit? There we are. Pop that on there. Take that, scrunch that up, and pop that over the top. The nice thing about the tulle is it will go flat. Do you know what I mean? It's very, very light. So in your journals, it's sort of like, it's nice and light. It looks really, really pretty. That's why I like using tulle, because it's just so pretty and feminine, isn't it? Well, that's quite nice too. I'm going to put that on there. Is there a right way or a wrong way for that? I don't think so. But that can just sit up there. Lovely. And then we can add maybe some lace or something along the bottom when we put that in, I think. Let's just ink it just in case. Oh, I kind of like that one. So look how different they are looking, which is nice. Right, I've got one more. One more. Look at my thread everywhere. Let's do this one. What should we do with this one? Oh, what's that? Oh, I must have stuck something on there. There's a little flower there. Put that there. Pop it down. Pop it on this side. Or we could pop it on this side, couldn't we? We could have almost like another little pocket in there. I like that. Let's just pop a little bit of this there. Make sure that's stuck nicely. And what I'm going to actually use this one. I'm not going to use the glue gun because sometimes it does unstick. Okay. Let's pop that on there. Let's just roll that back, I think. Have a little tucky spot in there. What do you think? Maybe I'll add another piece to here. I think we need to add, just extend it just a little bit. I suppose we could. Oh, I like that. That fits rather well, doesn't it? I think it needs, no, I quite like it underneath. Yes, I like that. Right, I'm going to glue this on there. So anything goes. Certainly does. Let's just do this like that. Tuck that on. Then we have a lovely sort of pocket over a pocket. Like that. Might have to just trim that off, I think. I'm going to glue gun this bit though. Like that. Just stick that down. There we go. Oh, I like that. What I should have done really is just sew that little bit shouldn't I? Should pop a little bit of a little stitch in there. Let's make sure that's stuck. What do you think? Should I pop a little stitch in there? It'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? Let's ink this little bit up. And then we have a little pocket in a pocket. Oh, I like that one. Right, do you think I'm going to be able to get in there with a little stitch? I think I might be able to if I got glue on my fingers. Let's just cut this little bit off. Oops. Okay. Lovely. We like pockets. You can never have too many pockets in things, I don't think. And little tuck spots and pockets are good. Let's just go back down. Should have thought of this before, but that's okay. Just back up. I think I might have to just make that a little bit tighter across there. Going to back, just a little stitch. If I had a little, could do with a little sort of sequin or something to pop on here, couldn't we? There we go. That will do. Through there. Doesn't need too much of a stitch because it's not going to be, you know, we're not using it really, are we? A little stitch bit. Right, that's on there. So a little stitch. I'm going to get my glue gun. I'm going to just pull that up a little bit tighter, I think, just so it sticks in there, so it's a little bit more not so bulky, not so loose, I mean. There we go. Will that stick on there? I think so. Hold that. Lovely. So that can have a little something tucked in there. We need something. I think I need something down here, don't I? Do you think I need something? I like that little scruffy bit. What do we need on here? We could do with a little sort of, oh, that's quite nice. We could do with, we've got our little bits of rose trim down there. Oh, decisions. Oh, I made that as well. I quite like that. That was just random sewing on there, but I think that makes a really nice sort of pocket. What do we have? Anything? Anything? A little bit of, another little bit of fabric. Or I'll tell you what, we could do with a bow. I think I might leave that because I might put like a little tiny bow on there to hang down. So we've got sort of like something to sort of dinkle dangle down, I think. I can decorate that a little bit more when we pop it into the journal. So let's have a little peek. I like these. I think they're really, really nice. Right, I'm going to just stick this one in because that's the one that I showed you earlier. That's really nice, isn't it? So that can stick on there with some glue gun, just down like that. Pop that on. And then we can just glue this. Does that go all the way along? Pretty much, but I'm going to do it with a 3-in-1. Just along this to make that into the pocket. Like that. Oops, a little bit too much glue. and a little bit down the side. There we go. So we are all about pockets today. Little scrappy pockets, which are lovely. So there we go. That then can have a lovely little something in there. So makes it a little bit bigger and a little bit different, doesn't it? And again, we can have a little bow, we can have a little bit of lace or something attached to that as well, but that's pretty good. Shall we pop these pockets in? Right, I'm going to just stick all these little bits in my box. We have got all of these pockets as well. Shall we just stick them in? Let's just... This one, I added a little bit of the rick-rack on there, and I've actually stapled it on. I thought it'd be quite nice to have a little staple or two in here. This comes out, that's another little pocket in there. So, where was I going to put that? That was a pocket. Is that a pocket? That's a pocket there. I don't want to see the white on this. You know what I'm like with my white. That would fit though, wouldn't it? But then I don't want this and tulle. We don't want tulle on 2 pages. Decisions, guys, decisions. I quite like the tulle coming out from there. You don't necessarily have to have it right at the bottom, but I quite like it. Oh my gosh, decisions. I'm going to go to stick it on here. Just going to stick this down. I actually popped, this is where I sewed through here. I've popped a piece of sticky tape on there so it doesn't get caught. That's going to go right there. Like that. So things don't get caught in the pocket. We don't want that. There we go. Lovely. You can just see diddly bit there. Just a tiny bit. Right, I'm going to put the big pocket. Was I going to put that there? That looks quite nice, doesn't it? Because this comes out to the rosy bit. And we've got roses on there. Look at that. That actually fits perfect. So let's glue that on. There we go. So yes, get your little scrappy bits out again, guys. When you sit, when you come into your room, a little bit of Lost Mojo, get your little scrappy bits out and just stick them together. It's another way to make pockets. Easy, simple way. There we go, look at that. That looks really nice. I do like that. What about... Right, this comes in and comes right out. So this is the back page. And then what I did on the back, I added this lovely piece of sort of netted fabric on there and made a great big, I might make a little notepad to go in there. I think would look really nice. So this is the back page. Do we want one of these on the back? Oh, well, I cut out, I did the little punch on there, on the corners, which is nice, isn't it? I might put a little tuck in there. I might have another piece going down there as a little tuck, I think. What should we do? Oh my gosh, decisions now. Decisions where to put our pockets. Do you know, I think I might put... See, pockets don't have to go right at the bottom, do they? They can go there, and then we can add something around this little bit, I think. I'm going to just do that. Let's just do it. Like that. Stick this on. Like that. I think. And then what we need something to come down through here whether it's tulle or a little bit of fabric or something. Like this. I'm going to do that again. Don't know where I got this bit of fabric from. Might be in a sort of little set of some sort. You know, you buy sort of like sets of fabric, don't you? Quite like that going down the side. Oops. Like that. Look, that fits that page just perfect. So let's just stick that down, seeing it fits so well. Oops. All the way down. There we go. Let's move that over. Look at that, I like that. That just folds over, that's fine. Might wrinkle up a little bit there, but we can always glue a little bit more down. Now I want something here. Let's have a little tulle piece. Let's just cut that off. Let's cut this end bit off. Like that. Pull this. Got this little piece as well, which is quite nice. It's not necessarily a pocket, it's just sort of like a thing. It's a sort of a thing to push on here. Let's pull this. I'm going to stick this down here. Just to make sort of like a feature pocket, really, isn't it? With all these lovely bits. I don't think I'll put that on there. Although it did look quite nice, but I'm going to just come around. Just around like that. Tiny, tiny, tiny bit. Just to hold that on. Oh, I like that. That's really nice. Now, again, I can come back and add a little something onto here. Maybe a little embellishment. I don't want, like I said, I don't want anything too thick. Don't really have anything on here. I've got a little orange flower in here. Doesn't quite work. Needs to be sort of pinky, I think. Do you know what I mean? A little trail of little, like little flowers or something going down there would be really nice, wouldn't it? But we can come back to that one. But I do like that again. Oh, look at all these bits I got hanging everywhere. Nice big pocket, so you can got a nice big card going in there. So that's lovely, like that one. So let's come round here. So that's our little first one. That's going to be our front with the little lady in the frame on. What can we do? I suppose we could even put this coming down the side. I suppose that could be a little tuck, couldn't it? I like that. I like that on there. Too much for that one. But I think that won't be like, I'll have to glue gun this bit down. Just like that. There we go. And the top. Lovely. And then I will just glue gun this little bit of the bottom, and then we've got like a little tuck spot in there. I could do with a bit more. Pull that down. Leave this bit to sort of fluffy bit, little fluffy bit. Oops. And then we've got a little tuck. Where's our little piece of paper? And then we've got somewhere just a tuck. That's quite a big tuck actually. You can get something in there, look at that, because that makes sure it closes up. So you've got a piece sort of that big. So I like that. Lovely, lovely. We're going to be big and squidgy and fat, this one. I'm going to pocket there. We've got this one, that was just a little bit too big, wasn't it? On there. I can't remember where I was supposed to put things now. Oh, that looks nice. I like that on there. Well, I was going to put this on the other side, wasn't I, though? Like that. But I like it there now. I'm just wondering about this being too big in the middle. But I think that will be fine. I'm going to just put it there anyway. Little bit of tacky glue, perfect. And then we can come back again and then add little bits of lace and stuff, because I want things sort of like hanging off the bottom, because I think they look really nice coming out the bottom like this. Fabulous. Right, we have got 2 pockets. Where shall we put these? We've got that one there, got that one there. We put one there? We put one there, didn't we? So, do you think this should go here or on the inside? Those colours go really nicely, don't they? I'm going to put that on the inside. Right there, I think. And then we've got this to put something else onto. Right, that's going to go on there. That's lovely. And then we've got one more pocket to pop on there then, to find a little space for. I do like this double pocket. I think that's really lovely, and I think we can have a lovely little bow hanging off there. Just make sure you're stuck down. Lovely, lovely. And then we have another one. Do you know, this one could even go sideways. Oh, look at that piece of cotton. Josh, I mean, it could even go like a sideways up tuck like that, couldn't it? On one of these. That's a little pocket. That's a little pocket there. Gosh, we've got lots of lovely little pockets in here now, haven't we? That could go on there. We could pop something in there like that. And then we've still got a little bit of room down here for something. Oh, I like that. I do like that. That's lovely. Yes, I'm going to do that. So if you don't have anything that's sort of like directional, they can sort of like go on, can't they? Doesn't really matter which way round they go. So this can butt up against that nicely, like that. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. And then I think I'm going to, where's this little bit? I'm going to stick that one on while we're sticking at the moment. Let's just hold that on. Love it. So I was going to put this down through here because it will just peek out of that little bit, which I think will look nice, won't it? So covered in glue. Let's just wiggle that down through there. Oops. And stick this on. Perfect, so when that closes up, that fits there. Just lovely, doesn't it? I really do like those little orange little thingy-majiggies. So there we go, guys. That's not looking too, I don't want it really jammed packed, but I'm loving it. So we've got that little pocket. We've got that one that I did earlier. that I sewed. We've got our little side one. We could have something with a little tab on actually to go in there. Make sure we're stuck down. We've got that one. I do like that little page as well. We've got that one. That looks really nice with that blue. That little pocket there, like that. That little pocket. I quite like the little high up one. I think that looks really nice. That little one in there, and I think we got that one, like that pocket as well. So there we go, guys. It's all about pockets today. So a nice little simple, really, aren't they? Sort of like scrappy, patchworky, put together pockets with a little bit of fabric in there, which I think are great. So there we go, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that's given you a little bit of a boost for your Lost Mojo. So get your scrap bits out and then just sort of like collage them together. But do remember to stick the bit at the top to the back so you don't have that ledge. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a ledge here, and when it's really frustrating, isn't it, when you're trying to get something in a pocket and it won't go in, but hopefully that's gonna work for you. So there we go, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Do have a fab rest of the day. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you soon. All right, guys, bye bye.